When a family member appoints you as an executor, a trustee, or a conservator, it's a huge honor. It means they trust you with their most important affairs, often their entire life's savings and property. But what many people don't realize is that this role isn't just about managing assets. It comes with a legal obligation called a fiduciary duty, and a core part of that is the duty of care. In simple terms, the duty of care means you must act with the same level of care, skill, and prudence that a reasonably careful person would use when managing their own affairs. But here's the catch. You're not managing your own affairs. You're managing someone else's, and you are held to a much higher standard. Today, we're going to break down what this duty of care means in 3 specific areas, with a special focus on the biggest asset most people have, real estate. On duty of care in probate, the executor. Let's start with probate. If you're named as the executor, your duty of care starts the moment you are appointed by the court. When it comes to real estate, this means you have to protect and manage the property until it can be distributed to the heirs. This isn't just about paying the mortgage. It includes a series of responsibilities. Securing the property. You must ensure the house is locked up and protected from theft or damage. You can't just leave it vacant and assume it will be fine. Maintenance and repair. If the roof starts to leak, you have a duty to get it fixed using estate funds. You can't let the property fall into disrepair because that would reduce its value for the beneficiaries. Insurance. You must ensure the property has adequate insurance coverage at all times. If a fire or a flood happens and the property wasn't insured, you could be held personally liable for the loss. Maximizing value. When it comes time to sell, your duty of care requires you to get the best possible price. You can't sell it to a friend for a discount. You must market it appropriately, get it professionally appraised, and accept a fair offer. Failing to do so can lead to a lawsuit from the heirs. 2. Duty of care in trust administration, the trustee. As a trustee, your duties are similar, but often with more flexibility and a longer time horizon. Your duty of care requires you to manage the trust's assets, including real estate, for the benefit of all beneficiaries. Here's where it gets nuanced. Prudent investment. Your duty of care includes making smart decisions that can grow the trust's value. This may involve selling a property to diversify the trust's investments or deciding to rent it out to generate income. Impartiality. This is a big one. You must act impartially and can't favor one beneficiary over another. For example, if a trust's assets include a home and cash, you can't decide to give the home to your favorite child and the cash to another if that would unfairly disadvantage one of them. Keeping records. You must keep meticulous records of all transactions. Every expense, every repair, every rental payment, it all needs to be documented and accounted for. This is how you prove you have fulfilled your duty of care to the court and to the beneficiaries. 3. Duty of care in conservatorship, the conservator. Finally, let's talk about conservatorships. Here, the duty of care is perhaps the most personal because you are managing the life and finances of an incapacitated person, the conservatee. When a conservatee owns real estate, your responsibilities are extremely serious and under constant court supervision, protecting the residents. If the conservatee lives in the home, your duty is to ensure it is safe, well-maintained, and comfortable for them. This means arranging for repairs, handling bills, and making sure the property remains a safe place to live. Managing assets for the conservatee's benefit. If the conservatee can no longer live in the home and it needs to be sold, your duty of care requires you to manage that sale to benefit the conservatee's financial needs. This might mean using the proceeds to pay for assisted living or medical care. You cannot sell the property to enrich yourself or a family member. Court supervision. Unlike a trust or probate, a conservatorship requires regular formal accounting to the court. Every single transaction, especially related to real estate, must be reported and often requires prior court approval. This is to ensure you are meeting your duty of care and not mismanaging the conservatee's assets. In all 3 of these roles, executor, trustee, and conservator, breaching your duty of care can have severe consequences. You can be removed from your position and even held personally liable for any financial losses you caused. The bottom line is that these are not passive roles. They are legal appointments that require diligence, transparency, and a commitment to acting in the best interest of the beneficiaries or the conservatee. If you find yourself in one of these positions, the most prudent first step is to consult with an attorney to make sure you understand your obligations and can fulfill your duty of care without risk. please reach out to us at Princeton Pacific Properties and we can ensure you have the support through any of these event-driven situations.